Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As you come into the chat, drop your crowns and your elephants and give a warm welcome to my lovely guests back here on the channel. My girl Grace Report is here and my girl Lailah Lynn. Ladies, what's going on? First of all, ladies, I just thought to myself, oh my gosh, the season's almost over and our collaboration's going to be over. Well, then we have Atlanta hopefully coming up next year, but that's a while away.
Yeah, it's gonna be like in February or March.
Oh,
I was talking about this earlier with my friend. I was like, you know what? We have to be the Three Musketeers for like some certain hot topics every once in a while at least.
Yeah, we got to keep it going.
She loves us together.
Of course. So look, you heard it here first, y'all. We're gonna do something else, but Potomac is coming to an end. Just at the top of this, how did you feel about the episode overall? We'll start with Grace.
Boring, a little bit boring. Sorry, I expected more.
Same. Lailah?
After a certain point, the beginning was interesting to me, but after a certain point, like it did start getting a little dull towards the end. Yeah. But I still loved it. I love my RHOP ladies, so I still loved it.
Same.
Do you love it because you're down there in the mix of things?
Oh my God, down there. It sounds like down there. Like,
well, I'm from New York.
Yeah. So I've been getting that all my life from my family in New York, down there. But I feel like I would like these ladies even in another location. I feel like I like the cast. I really like the cast.
And that's important. That's so important. And, Potomac has been a grower. It wasn't an immediate success. And I think Salt Lake City, a lot of people have counted it out, but that's only their second season. But Potomac has come a long way over the years. Because we're talking about the future of Potomac, though, do you see this entire cast coming back?
Hopefully not Robin.
Not Robin?
I would love it without Robin. I feel like they should give somebody, like that slot could go to somebody so much more interesting, someone so much more dynamic. So yeah, I would think, everybody except Robin, even the girls I don't like, like they're not my favorites on the show. I still feel like they do their thing. Like Gizelle, she does her thing on the show. But Robin, I could see her being replaced.
I mean, that's a really good point, and that I think was the intention of the producers for this season. However, with the big shakeup with Monique not returning, Robin had another opportunity. So even with this other opportunity, you guys don't feel like she brought it this season? Damn.
No.
What did she do?
Look, they said it, not me. I feel that way though.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you're just joining us, of course, this is our weekly collaboration with my girl Grace Report and Lailah Lynn. If you're not subscribed to the channels, you're missing out on so much great content. All of their information is available in the description of this video. Of course, more information on how you can support them and the channels are there as well. So, ladies, let's jump into this episode. Although it was a lackluster episode, a lot did happen, and I think Gordon might be trying to get his own champagne flute. He might be getting his own champagne.
Yes.
And not only did he get drunk, he said he's going to get re-drunk.
I love that. Re-drunk. I love it.
Before we delve into all the little nitty-gritty parts of this episode, how are you both feeling about Gordon Thornton? Ooh.
So far, I feel like he'd be embarrassing to me. If he were my husband, I'd be embarrassed like all the time. I feel like I'm more like conservative, so to speak, because I can't think of a better word for it. Like I'm more like chill, quiet, like don't be too dramatic. And then when he did say like the let's get re-drunk thing, I'm usually like a 2-3 glass of wine kind of girl, and I'm done. So I'm like, oh my God, at that age, you can still keep going. I can't pass 3 glasses at this age.
Right.
Yes.
I feel like first of all, I feel like a man like that would never be your husband, Grace. And I feel like if somehow, some way you messed around and married him, I feel like you would be checking him like left and right. Like you would not let him go on like that.
Yeah, I'd be exhausted.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to delve more into the whole Gordon situation because he really was the standout part of this episode. And I kind of on the fence about Gordon just because, like you, Grace, I'm just like, that could not be my husband because I'm very private. I'm very demure in person. I know I give you a lot here on the channel, but look, in person, I'm very like low key,
Yeah.
You're not going to hear me, if I'm a guest in your home, and if you've been following me on my channel, you know I was whispering in some of my videos because I don't want to be disruptive to someone's home. I'm in a hotel now, so I can be as loud as I want to be. But I'm not, I'm not going crazy. But anyways,
right.
So
and if you do, like, the world is not going to know. That's the thing. Like, whatever you do, like, you keep it low key, you have fun. It doesn't have to be public.
Yeah. Well, apparently Gordon didn't get the memo. So the beginning of this episode continues with, them at this particular, I don't know why Bravo or these production companies are just sort of like, instead of just starting somewhere fresh, we continued from where we left off, and it really wasn't much. So it's sort of like, we didn't need that. It was sort of like a waste of time, sort of like Robin. But yeah.
Sorry. But you know what? I think it's because of the pandemic, we're seeing a lot of, longer scenes, and we're spending a lot of time where normally we would pick up the pace if it wasn't for the pandemic. But I think the pandemic is the reason they're in the Eastern Shore. Like, who goes to the Eastern Shore? I think a lot of that has to do with the pandemic.
I mean, I'm hoping for a better Housewives series in 2022, but we're still in the middle of a pandemic, so I don't know. The restrictions here in Europe are crazy, at least here in the Netherlands. Look, I can't tell you the amount of times I've gotten swabbed up the nose. But I digress. I want to say thank you to Dizan, I believe. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Gizelle, Karen, and Candace are my favorites. How do you ladies feel about that trio of ladies?
I love Karen. I love Karen. I like Candace too. Sometimes I like Candace. I like her spiciness. Like, I kind of like her mouth when it's not getting her, in trouble. Like, I like her vocabulary. I put it that way. How she uses a lot of adjectives. I like that. Giselle,
okay, Chris.
No.
For me, in that trio, it's only Giselle that I like. I mean, not Giselle. Karen that I like.
Okay.
I was actually really surprised. I was like,
I was about to be shocked.
No, y'all know I can't stand Giselle, Robin, or Candace, and I think Ashley too. I think she's kind of done to me after the season. She's very boring this season. Yeah. What about you, Kempire?
And of the trio, I have to give it to Karen, and I'm not one of those Karen, because, when I was talking about the fashions, I said, Karen, I did not like her outfit, and everybody was reading me for filth, and y'all I can take it. But I didn't love her reunion outfit, but I love Karen. Karen steps up. And then even Ray this episode stepped up and had me keep king.
Yes, Ray. I was here for
We'll talk about Ray in a second, but we have to talk about Robin and Gizelle, very upset about their accommodations. We knew that from last week's episode, but this week's episode, they are trying to find a hotel. They decide they're going to get this hotel. They leave in the middle of the night. Ascala is helping them with their luggage. How do you ladies feel about this whole upset about not having your own bathroom? Look at Grace.
I was glad they didn't have their own bathroom because they needed a taste of their own medicine. They keep dishing all these things at everybody else. So it was about time that they reaped kind of like the karma of that. I get it from Giselle's perspective, right? With a broken foot, having to hobble up and down the stairs and stuff. But Robin, I think she just wanted to follow Gizelle because she can't live without her.
Yeah.
Layla.
I tend to agree. I felt like it was karma with Gizelle saying that, Wendy and Karen can't use her bathroom. And then, on the next trip, turn to find out she doesn't have a bathroom. I felt like that was karma. But on the other flip side, like you said, it is understandable as a woman wanting your own bathroom, especially Robin, saying that she has her period and stuff like that, and not wanting to share a bathroom. Like, I understand wanting a certain level, like having a certain standard when you visit someplace. But at the same time, I do think it is karma. And I don't like that they're blaming Wendy because they didn't tell Wendy they were coming. Wendy wasn't sure if they were coming or not. So don't blame her.
Yeah. And Wendy also revealed that door that we see in Gizelle and Robin's room that leads to a master. So they did have options, but I don't know if it had an actual bathroom in that master. Normally masters do, and we don't call them masters in the primary room. There we go.
Yeah. There was no one in that room?
Say it again?
Like, there was another room and no one was in it, and that room had a bathroom?
She didn't confirm whether or not that room had a bathroom, but she said it was, and this is her words, it was a master bathroom or primary bathroom. I mean, a primary room.
If it is a primary to me, part of a primary is having a bathroom. So I assume
Yeah.
it did have a bathroom, and maybe they didn't want to share a bathroom.
But they wanted to share a hotel because if you go back to when they call them and she talks to Ashley talks to Gizelle, she says, I forgot the exact wording, but pretty much she's still like, yeah, we have our own room. And I was like, they just wanted to be alone together.
Ooh,
Mhm.
ooh, ooh.
Gizelle
Listen.
needed Robin to like bathe her because she can't do it herself right now.
Oh my God.
I mean, I agree
Yeah.
with you both in regards to having their own bathroom, but the whole excuse that Robin goes into a little bit later about someone urinating on the floor and things like that,
Mhm.
did that actually happen, or was she just assuming because it's a man that's that's what's going to happen?
Yeah, I feel like she was putting 20 on 10. I don't believe
Mhm.
anybody urinated on the floor. That's just me personally. I felt like, I don't know, I didn't like how she was saying, I don't want to share a bathroom with men. I feel like regardless of who you share a bathroom with, your standards are still the same. So the fact that
Mhm.
she was, breaking it down to gender didn't make sense to me. And I just personally don't believe anybody was urinating on the floor. I don't. I just don't.
And then you heard what Karen said about that. She said, "I think it was Robin."
Yeah.
Lady
Karen is so shady.
Grace, they want to know your lipstick of the day in the chat.
Ooh.
Oh, I have it right here. It's Sephora
Yay.
collection, just like their basic 01. I
Oh
don't know
wow.
if that shows. Yeah.
And you know what we will do? Grace will send me the link to that, and I'll post it in the description of this video. Look at Grace.
Will do.
Guys, if you're just joining us, we are, of course, doing our weekly collaboration with Grace Report and Lailah Lynn for The Real Housewives of Potomac. The Real Housewives of Potomac season 6 is starting to, it's about to be the end. This episode really wasn't that juicy, but G, aka Gordon, Mia's husband, really showed out. And he was talking about his penis in the Sprinter because they were talking about Chris's brown penis. And we talked about that. And if we were interested in seeing that, and of course we see him get up, but we knew we weren't going to see anything. No one wanted to see anything. But Gordon also gets up, and I'm not sure what poor Eddie saw. Eddie gives us some funny moments. I don't know if you noticed it. It's a little bit of his commentary. I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? I kind of like Eddie.
I be
But
feeling bad for Eddie though, because he was like at the dinner, he was like, "I wish I had some food." Like when they were arguing, he didn't actually have his
Yes.
food yet. And then on the bus, sitting beside G, he's just like, "Somebody help me, help me."
But
I be feeling so
sidebar,
bad for
when
him.
Robin was talking about the show, and one of the questions that was posed to her, like who has a lot to answer to during the reunion, she said Eddie.
Robin
I know,
said
I was shocked.
that? Ooh, Robin
Did she
needs
hint
to
why?
hush up.
She didn't say why. She didn't say why. So I was like, whoa. So he has a lot to answer. Look, I'm looking forward to the reunion. We've already seen and heard some information about the reunion. Are you ladies looking forward to the Potomac reunion?
Yeah, definitely, especially with Nicki Minaj co-hosting. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yes, yes.
Grace?
Me too. I'm really hoping that they bring it. I think that because they filmed this after the Beverly Hills and like Andy's getting praised for how well he asked questions to Erica, he might be on a high for that and feeling emboldened for this reunion as well in some respect. And I hope he is. Yeah. What about you?
I'm just gonna do a lot of sidebars because this episode was lackluster. Of course, we will get back into it. But speaking of Andy Cohen, there is a rumor on the street that Watch What Happens Live might be canceled because of terrible ratings. Do you ladies watch What Happens Live? And how do you
On
feel about Andy
Sundays.
Cohen?
I watch it on Sundays, like after the Housewives. I only watch it on Sundays. Wow, I didn't hear that rumor. I'm surprised. It just got re-upped to where it's like daily or nightly or whatever.
Yeah. What
I
about you,
listen to
Grace?
the podcast, you guys, just to like listen on like multiple X speed, just to know what's going on and stuff and blah, blah, blah. But it's never had amazing ratings, like there have been nights when it had like 100,000 viewers or sometimes even less. So I'm kind of surprised that all of a sudden, because it's actually kind of starting to go up with the Erica Girardi stuff and like, I'm kind of surprised by that. Yeah.
Well, word on the street is that, there was this big rumor that Andy was demoted. And a lot of people are like, what does that mean? What does that mean? It really, to me, is you're not going to see it. It's going to be about his power and his influence at Bravo. The Real Housewives franchise ratings are down across the board. The only one that's doing extremely well is, of course, Potomac and definitely Beverly Hills. But if you look at the ratings for Watch What Happens Live, yes, they've been up and down. They're very inconsistent. But for me, that is a clear indication, if this rumor is true, that he has lost the influence that he once had over at Bravo and, of course, at NBC Universal.
That's so interesting.
Where will the girls go? Where will everybody go? Because I feel like it serves a purpose.
They come to YouTube. They come to YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
Grace, you gotta believe that they're gonna come to YouTube.
But they're so scared because, I feel like YouTubers, we would ask them the real questions. Well, a lot of us would. So I feel like they'd be scared to come here. You know what I mean? So they need an Andy or someone who'd have to pad them up or whatever in some respect.
Questions. I mean, but there's also people on YouTube that will give them softball questions.
That's true.
And that's no shade. Everyone does things differently. But I honestly feel that they will be able to find. But there were people that still went to Wendy Williams. Do you remember Wendy Williams? People were scared to go there. But
they still went. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's where the heat is at. That's where the viewers are at. And I think that's what's happening. We'll watch what happens. Don't be surprised, y'all. We get a show. Annette, thank you so much for the super chat. Did anyone have an issue with Mia coming down the stairs in the kitchen in her lingerie with her lingerie on? I thought it was a bathing suit.
Yeah, and I saw people tweeting about this. I thought it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was a bathing suit and a cover up. But I did see people tweeting about it and speaking on it. But I was not. I wasn't worried. If I had been there, my man was there, and she was in that, I wouldn't have been concerned. I didn't find it offensive because we're on vacation. But I don't know. What did you think, Grace?
Same here. I was looking at it oh, that's interesting. It looks like a bathing suit, or if it's lingerie, it's lingerie. She's married. She's got her man. She's happy over there. He's happy over there. I've never heard of her flirting with the other men or anything like that. So to me, it was whatever. That's her vibe.
Yeah.
I literally didn't think of it. I did think of it. I looked at it and I was like, but I thought it was a bathing suit. But then now I'm thinking about where were they going? So maybe it was some sleepwear. Make it. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Sorry, guys, I have to go and start cooking dinner. That sounds good. Almost 8 p.m. here in Munich. We'll watch later. Kempire. Thank you so much. You did not.
Let us know what you cook, girl.
Say it again.
I said, let us know what you cook.
Right? I want to know because now I'm hungry. Y'all know how I get when I'm hungry. So
yes, that just made me hungry.
Right? Well, it's dinner time here in Europe. So after this, I'm gonna have to go grab dinner. Speaking of dinner, the accommodations at this place seem to be lackluster. Everyone's weighing in, specifically Gordon and Mia. They have their own thoughts on it. But Ashley talked about Gordon's behavior. And as I said, Gordon's been drunk this entire vacation, it feels like. But she compares Michael's behavior to Gordon's behavior. And I love the editors show an example of how Michael has been inappropriate. What did you think of that comparison?
I'm happy. They never fall asleep, those producers. They are always ready to tell you about yourself, show you about yourself. Ashley, your man literally just had charges dropped against him. He was charged and they were dropped for, offensively harassing people, right? And then of course the season 1 stuff, and there were at least 2 or 3 different incidents. So for her to even think to say this was a self-drag.
Yeah, she dragged herself. She dragged herself. Yes, I love that they showed the flashback to Michael for whatever reason. I still never understood why he had his pants down. I still never understood that.
It was just the beginning of the weird behavior from Michael.
Yeah. What could you have been doing? I don't understand.
He wanted to jump off the boat for some reason and go swim in the ocean in the middle of the dark.
He was going to skinny dip.
No, we have never been able to understand Michael Darby's behavior. We've never been able to understand it. Another person and another couple that we don't seem to understand, Candace and Chris. They have a conversation about the whole scuff up between her and Ashley. And Chris admits, he's like, Ashley's not that bad. But he was drunk. He was definitely drunk. and the editors show him with the drink. Do you guys? I feel like the editors are really leaning in to make us think that he really drinks a lot.
Yeah, because they keep zooming in on his cup. Like everybody there is drinking. Like to be honest, everybody there is drinking. Like they were all taking shots when they first got there. They're all been drinking. But every time Chris takes a drink, they zoom in on his cup, like they're trying to infer that he has some type of problem. When I promise you, from what I can tell, they're all drinking.
But is there something going on behind the scenes that we are not yet privy to? Is this going to come out? Is this why Candace seems so upset with her life? Outside of the fact that this man is living off of her, you know, with himself and his multiple kids. Yes, does he also have a drinking problem? It might be something. I feel like there might be something to it, because why else would they be doing that?
I know. And I wonder if that will be addressed at the reunion, or if he will address it on social media. Look, we've seen his behavior on social media, and it sort of looks, is he drinking at the time? Sometimes he will confirm that he's been drinking. I don't think he necessarily has a problem, but I do think it's shady of the producers to keep showing it like that.
Yeah.
And
it's a serious allegation.
It is serious. It is. Yeah. I just happen to think they're all drinking, but it is very serious to do that to someone. Yeah. And didn't someone leave? Yeah. Okay. But it was RHOA. But Shamari, part of the reason I heard that she left the show is because they were portraying her as a drunk. And that's not cool to do to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I pointed it out, because I was like, you know what? I don't love Chris. You know, he definitely gives us this one view of him on the show, but I see the messiness on social media. But at the same time, I'm a straight shooter. So if I see them doing something and painting a picture of him, I'm going to point it out. And I don't know if that's a fair depiction of this man. You know what I mean? Make it make sense. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, I was shocked Gizelle had an issue with a 2-star hotel when she lives in a 2-star house. I guess since Bravo is paying, she has higher expectations. What do you ladies think about that? There was a 2.5-star hotel.
You know, Gizelle always has a problem with every accommodation. Like if she's not hosting the trip, she has a problem. Monique put them up in this beautiful lake house that was way bigger than her house and stuff. She had a problem with that too. Ashley put them up in a beach house that was, you know, sure it had twin beds or whatever, but the rest of the house was nice. She had a problem with that. Like, you know, she always has a problem with the accommodations.
Oh my God. But it's her own fault. The reason people are giving her twin beds is because of how she treats them. Like it's karma coming back to her. Like I understand not wanting to sleep in a twin bed. Like I don't want to go on vacation and sleep in a twin bed. So I understand that. I understand wanting your own bathroom. But at the same time, people are giving you the twin bed. They're giving you the room in the attic for a reason. It's because of how you treat them. It's karma.
And showing up late, extremely late after you said you weren't coming.
Right. People don't even know you're coming, girl. So what do you expect?
Guys, if you're just joining us, of course, I'm here with Grace Report and Lailah Lynn. Their information for their channels and their social media is available in the description of this video. Be sure to follow and support them. And if you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Shout out to my moderators and our Team Kempire and Royal Court members that are already in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Let's talk about Ray Hubert. Ray Hubert shows up and he adds such a light energy that I'm just like, oh my gosh. He came in and with the jokes, it seemed really, I guess if you have a partner and you both can relate to this, when you go to events like this, your partner really is sort of like your teammate. Like when you're there together, you can kind of bounce off each other. If you're ready to leave, you guys have your own sort of, I'm assuming. You ladies let me know.
I don't know, because we don't hang out with people we don't like. So it's kind of hard to make a comparison. Like we hang out with family, you know, and just people that we enjoy being with.
Yeah.
So
but even family, though, there comes a time when you're like, all right, it's time for me to go. And you sort of like look at each other like, yeah, time for me to go.
I don't have that symbiotic relationship with him, because most of the time we'll be with his family and I might want to go. But for him, his family is like, oh my God, these are the best people ever. So I don't have that, you know, experience. But
I'm always stuck.
Yeah.
We're still here.
Right. That's all I be feeling.
Look, I'm the only single one here. So I just assume people are rolling. Maybe I'm just, look, as you probably can't see the thing behind me. It says right here waiting for you. I'm waiting for the love of my life right here.
Okay,
wait a minute. In the Netherlands.
Yes.
But I thought it was really great to see Ray. And then the whole read that he gave Jizzy. I was like, this is what I love from Ray Huber. We don't really get a lot of that from him, but this episode we did. I was like, oh my God. Okay, they understand the assignment. Karen and Ray understand the assignment. I thought it was a beautiful moment. I'm glad he came. I wish he was there from before, but I wonder how his relationship with G is going to play out after he sees the episode where he flirts with his wife.
He's gonna call it out because remember, yeah, Michael Darby didn't even flirt with Karen. He just popped up at the house that one time when they caught him at the gay club. Remember, and then he followed them to the house in season 1, and Ray was pissed. He was absolutely pissed off. He's like, you're trying to see my wife in her lingerie and this and that. Like, you know, he carried it through to the reunion. So this time for G to have actually said something, I think he might be bringing it in. Yeah.
I was also, I also was surprised at Jizzy's reaction to Ray's comment about that it was, Jizzy said that Karen's the one that broke her foot, and he was like, "I'm surprised. What happened to the neck?"
I love that.
And I was surprised that she laughed as well.
Mm-hmm.
She loves Ray. She loves Ray. She loves Ray. I wasn't surprised because she loves Ray. All that talking she be doing about Ray dying and stuff. It's like, girl, you love Ray. Like, stop playing. Stop playing. You wish you had Ray. Yeah.
This is true. On Watch What Happens Live, a question was posed to Wendy Acefo about the single shaming, the fact that she's in a relationship, and she said pretty much that no, she's saying you don't have anyone for us to come at because you're always coming at our families and our relationship. So she says no, and I was raised by a single mom, so there's no single shaming here. What are your thoughts on that?
I hate when she gets accused of that. It's like, are people watching the show in its entirety, or are they taking her comments out of context? She has only been going after Gizelle and Robin's lack of solid relationships because they keep going after everybody's marriages. Like, I didn't realize that was such a complicated, concept. Like, it's so obvious. It's so black and white. So I was really like, really? You're asking this? Like, you don't see it?
Yeah, it's tit for tat. But a lot of these housewives are hypocritical, but it's tit for tat. Like, they come after her husband, and because they don't have a husband, of course, she's going to come up after their lack of having a husband, their lack of relationship, especially with it being a housewife show, and you're not actually even a wife, let alone a housewife. So I understand it more from Wendy's point of view, and I feel like when Robin and Gizelle come at Wendy, it's just like they're grasping for anything to come at her. And there's so many, like trigger words people use nowadays. And so with them saying that she's single shaming, I feel like they're just latching on to a trigger word to trying to shame her when it's not right. It's not right.
So they're on, the episode is called Lost at Sea. They go on this boat. Everyone's hungover, but very much so Chris and Candace are very much hungover. But we do have a sweet moment between Mia and Candace. They make amends. Mia talks about her mom more. Candace apologizes, but she also expresses why she felt so hurt. It wasn't the mother portion of the situation. It was more that she called her video shoot low budget. And as a former artist, I get where she's coming from. She's an artist and she's sensitive about her ish. What did you think of that, Grace? Did you feel for Candace in that moment, or were you like, get over it?
I felt like, really, why are you crying? You're the one who said all these things about her mom. She said that your thing was low budget, and you're going to sit here and cry? Really? After the way that you went out of your way to like tear her down and stuff too. I just didn't get it. I get Candace being sensitive about her art and all of that, but like, your mama is broken, dusty, or whatever, all these things versus your project was low budget. Like, I didn't understand why Candace was the one crying, but I did like their apologies, especially Mia's. It felt very genuine and straight to the point. And then same for Candace as well.
It seems because Mia doesn't really like to stay in conflict long. She likes to start it, but she doesn't like to stay in it for a long time. Lailah, what did you think of the interaction and the apology between Mia and Candace?
I was glad to see it, and I felt like it was coming. I felt like if they could just talk like without, well, I know they were, what did you call it, re-drunk or whatever. But I felt like if they could just talk to each other, and I wish it was one-on-one, but I felt like they could understand where each other was coming from. But I also felt like when Mia mentioned her mom, whenever she goes into details with her mom, and now she said I think she was in jail for 8 years, and when she was let out to go to the funeral, she would have had to been in shackles. I'm really curious what her mom did, because I really feel like I said before, I feel like it was a mandatory minimum type of sentencing, and I feel like her mom was over sentenced. I want to know the crime, but just looking at it, it feels like her mom was way over sentenced for whatever she did. So I'm curious. I'm curious about that.
I wonder if Andy, will ask that question at the reunion, because it does come up, and then she talks about not wanting to say it. I do want to say thank you to Melvin. Thank you so much for the super chat. Melvin says, yes, Ray certainly had Karen's back. Jizzy was a little stunned by that. And maybe that's why she didn't say anything. Jizzy's more into the whole confessional shade as opposed to direct shade. So I love that moment. It was probably one of my favorite moments from this episode. But also on the boat, the Wendy and the conflict that she has with Robin and Gizelle comes up again. Are you ladies over the fight between these three women?
No. I want to. No, because I feel like Wendy hasn't read them their rights yet. I'll put it that way. I feel like Robin and Gizelle, like, they do way too much. Like, their expectations are way too high. I feel like they're like low-key brats. And instead of Wendy being the host, like, they were kind of treating Wendy like a servant. And I just feel like they need more. Like, karma is not through with them yet. That's how I feel. It's not done yet. Yeah, we need more. We need more.
I have to say, I like watching them dig their hole and really expose themselves for who they are and how they really feel, because I think I wrote it down. Gizelle said something and I felt it was dog whistle racism or colorism or whatever it might be, even though, you guys know my stance on that in the show. She called Wendy aggressive and very passive aggressive in these things. And I was like, they're just sitting there having a conversation. Gizelle says that, she's good on Wendy. Wendy says, I'm good on you too. And for no reason, Gizelle calls her aggressive. And I go, why is she aggressive for saying the exact same thing? It's sad.
Wendy is not trying to fight you. Wendy is not up out of her seat. She is not in your face. Because some of these girls, they have, like Mia, they've been putting their
Robin has done that.
Robin
been in Ashley's face at her restaurant, the Kangaroo restaurant. She was right in her face.
Not the Kangaroo restaurant. But yes, that umbrella scene. Like, they've been aggressive, but Wendy, she's just sitting there and she's talking to you. You don't like what she's saying, but she's not physically being aggressive. You just don't like what she's saying. So it was dog whistling. And so when Wendy called Gizelle a bully back, which is another, kind of like coded term, when she called her a bully back, I was like, yes, call her a bully. If she could dog whistle, you dog whistle too. Let's do it.
Yeah. And we've been talking about that conversation for a while now. And just to see that it did stand out to me. And I was like, oh. And I hope they do bring that up at the reunion, because they brought it up at the last reunion. And I don't feel that it was significant there. But I definitely think in this particular moment, it's definitely worth bringing up because of what we saw in this last episode. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that Wendy's candle is now available. Did you both know that?
No. Where?
Yeah, the website's up. The candle has multiple different candles. The price point is between $45 and $50. They also have a diffuser. She's starting.
$40 one week.
I know. I was about 40, 45. Okay.
Wendy, you're welcome. Okay, I gave you a little bit of an advertisement.
Jeez.
Are you both interested in her candle? Her 1 wick candle?
If she ships to Europe, but like it's hard to get something from, the Bravo universe here. So I don't know.
Yeah. 45
Wendy, send a special ship. Come on.
45 for a 1 wick candle is a lot.
Right? I thought the same thing. Especially because we're right around the corner from, Bath and Body Works and their big candle special that comes out next month. And we can get 3 wick candles.
Yeah. And then a lot of people, you haven't smelled it, because more than likely she's selling it online. You don't really know what it smells like. So you're taking a chance, and $45 to take a chance on a 1 wick candle is a lot. It's a lot.
It must be.
And I just had a conversation with, go ahead. Sorry, Grace.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just saying, I think she's recouping the cost from that packaging. The packaging it looks expensive.
I mean, I like the packaging. But here's the thing. I was just talking with Adam and Jason about this, and I was saying one of the things that we were saying is that they should send these candles to content creators or influencers so that we can really try them and then be like, no, guys, this is worth the 1 wick candle price.
Mhm.
But that is a lot for people. Look, we're candleistas, and that's a lot for a 1 wick candle.
Yeah, it is. It is. To me, 1 wick candle, it gives you around between 20 at the most $30 range. USD,
Mhm.
Yeah.
How big is it though?
So
Is
she's
it like
not
a
getting it
small-
right again.
Hmm.
Say it again.
Damn it. How big is it? My candles are so far over here, but we have some candles in the house. They're small and they were so cheap. Like, how big is this 1 wick?
Well, this candle, I don't know. This is European, so I can't. There's no size on this one, but this is a small candle. But one of the candles that I looked at was 11 ounces, and that was $45. It's not a big candle. You can get a bigger candle from Bath and Body for a lot cheaper, and they smell really good. Jerry, thank you so much for the super chat. Jerry says, I only wish Wendy called the candle line Zen
Wen. Yeah. I would love that.
Well, don't be surprised that she comes out with something. Melvin, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Like says, that's definitely overpriced. All right, so she's making mistakes already with her candle business.
But are you surprised? She didn't seem to know anything like throughout the whole season, right? So I don't know that she did the market research.
Yeah. Oh, damn. But then she had Eddie. Eddie was supposed to help her with that.
Eddie's got cases to win. He's not Phaedra.
I know that's right. He has a real job.
Well, look, I saw it and I said, you know what? We have to talk about it. I want to support Black businesses. I think the packaging looks great. Wendy, if you're watching, and I know you do, wink, wink, send it to all 3 of us. We will definitely try it and talk about it. Get it out to us ASAP, though, because we want us to talk about it before the reunion. Just saying. Just saying.
I will go to the website. Tell me the top notes. Like, tell me what's in it. I'll go to the website and I'll see. I'll
send you. I'll post the link. I'm gonna help promote. I'll post the link, even though everyone in the chat is saying that's way too much money. I'll post the link in the description of this video after the live, guys. We have almost 850 people watching. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. This is our weekly collaboration here with Grace Report and Lailah Lynn. All of their information to their YouTube channel and their social media is available in the description of this video. And I believe next week we are on, I always get this messed up. Who are we?
My channel.
Grace Report next week.
Yes.
Same time, just different channels. But if you're subscribed and you have your notification bell on, you never miss out. And we always retweet and share on our social media as well, so you'll never miss out. So be sure you're following us on our socials as well. Let's talk about Gordon, because next week Gordon continues. This whole situation with Gordon continues. In this episode, we get to see a sort of foreshadowing of his beef that develops between him and Ashley. What do you think of what we saw so far in regards to G sort of targeting Ashley?
I didn't like it, to be honest with you. Like when Ashley, was just trying to take a little nap on the bus, and I'm sure she's tired. You've been out in the sun all day. You're lactating and stuff like that. Like that stuff takes energy. People don't always acknowledge it, but like lactating and stuff, it takes energy out of your body. And so for her just trying to take a little nap on the bus and then him targeting her just because she was napping, I didn't like that. But I don't think G is worse than her husband. So it's hard because when I compare him to Michael, he always comes out on top. So
Grace?
That's an interesting metric. It kind of gave me the flashback to, and maybe I have selective memory on this, so maybe you guys or people in chat can help me, but it kind of reminded me of when Ashley, Gizelle, and Karen were all in a van together in Nice, France, and Ashley started going in on Robin. What's her name? On Karen's marriage. Sorry. You're the one talking about how his penis is old and shriveled up or whatever. It's like, is this your karma, sis, for harassing that woman? Is this your karma? That's kind of
karma is real. I don't think karma is real.
This episode should have been called Karma.
It always delivers. Sometimes when stuff happens to me, I'm like, you know what? This must be my karma for, X, Y, or Z. Because it does happen. It does happen.
I want to say this though, I thought of this the second time watching the episode. I don't think he was really targeting her in a way to be mean or malicious. I think he's attracted to her. I think he was flirting. I think he was flirting. And
Yeah.
Ashley and Michael allegedly are down with the swinging. So
Oh my God.
I wouldn't be surprised if those two couples might get together.
Oh
Could you
my
see Ashley being into
God.
G though? I can't see Ashley being
That's
into
the
G.
thing. Mia, yes. G, no.
G, no.
When they say they swinging, I don't think it's that way.
Yeah.
No. I think they swing the other way. Like beautiful.
Look, at least they
Interesting.
all swing.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, he could be flirting, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's appreciated or reciprocated from Ashley.
Yeah.
Really?
I saw him just trying to be funny, but being drunk and annoying. Sometimes you don't realize it. He didn't realize that it wasn't funny. To him, it was funny, but like to her, it was irritating.
Yeah. Yeah. It would definitely irritate me. Yeah.
Well, we get to see. I thought we would get to see it this episode, but apparently not. This does feel like it was a filler episode. However, this transpires, and we see a preview of next week's episode. It seems that next week is going to be really juicy when it piles up between Gordon, Mia, and Ashley. Poor Ashley is there by herself. She doesn't even have her husband to defend her, and that comes up too. Where's your husband? She's like, with my babies. Grace, what did you think of that?
And Mia goes, "Are you sure?" You know what, Mia? Sometimes she really gives herself away as a viewer because she wasn't here for all of this. You know what I mean? And like, no one has really talked about the infidelity in front of her. So for her to be like, "Are you sure?" to me, it's like, "All right, fan, come in, do the dirty work for us." I love it. Yeah.
Well,
I thought that was a good
talk
question.
about Mia on the boat bringing back stale tea because she literally heard a glimpse of something and brought something completely different about what Robin said about her relationship. We literally forgot about Robin. I'm sorry, Robin. No, I'm not. but she literally, again, in this situation, brings up something to the group, and it's completely the opposite of what was said. And they laugh at her though about it. They don't really get upset about it. What did you ladies think of the stale tea that Mia brought up to the group on the boat?
Mia needs to do better. She needs to try harder. Get it right, girl. If you're going to be a bone carrier, the bones got to be correct. They got to be the right bones. Like, get it right. Get it right.
I agree.
Great.
And she's lucky. She's got the kind of disposition where people don't see her as a threat or like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like if it were Candace, people would be like, "Oh my God, well, you're doing this because you're trying to stir up trouble to deflect from this, to really go in on her and like, act like she came in with the nastiest intentions." But people always think that Mia's going into everything with the best intentions. I don't know that it's necessarily true, to be honest with you guys, but she's lucky that she's got that.
Oh, damn. Ladies, before I let you go, I did want to talk a little bit about, because we didn't get a chance to talk about the reunion looks. Okay. Yes. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, which has aired. The reunion looks came out just a few days ago. I want to know your favorites and your least favorites.
Oh, I already forgot which ones I like, but I know I liked a lot of them actually. I liked Ashley's look, Candace's look. I liked Karen's look, of course. Robin's look was nice. I think she just should have changed the hair. Mia looked nice. Gizelle looked cheap as usual. I think she's the only one that I didn't really like. And Escala, when I saw her, I was like, what is she even doing there? And I didn't like her look either. I felt like there was a lot going on. So I think Gizelle and Escala were the ones I didn't like. Yeah.
I think Escala, I think they invited her basically because Nicki Minaj was there. So it was kind of like, okay, this is like a special reunion. And I feel like that's how she got invited. So she
Wow, you didn't think they were going to invite Escala?
No, because I feel like for friends to show up at the reunion, they have to impact the storyline. And I don't feel like she impacted the storyline that we've seen so far. She hasn't impacted.
You bring up a very good point. But, speaking of the fashion, though, what about this look that she gave on the boat this episode?
It was so pretty.
It was so Mary J. Like, it reminded me of Mary J. Not gonna cry. It's been 11 years. But I'm not gonna cry. I loved it. I love that.
Yeah,
I agree. I like her look. She gave us so many fashion moments throughout the season. I was actually surprised at her reunion look. It wasn't terrible, but I expected so much from Ascala. But you're right,
Yeah.
she was just happy to be there.
Mhm.
But you know what she gave us, and I don't know if you have the pictures, but to me, it gave me like a little bit of 80s vibe. Like she had the it was really the puff on the sleeve for me that kind of like was like, whoa. But then when you see the way she
Yeah.
had her ponytail, it gave me like an 80s vibe. So I see where she was trying to
Yeah.
give a vibe.
Mhm.
So I see where she was
Yeah.
going with it, basically. I see where she was going with
What
it.
do you guys think she's gonna talk about there, you guys? Honestly, like last week's episode, what was her line? Do my friends make you uncomfortable? Do they scare you? This week's episode, that's not awkward at all. This is not like, what does she do? Like, what is she
I
going to
don't
talk
know.
about? She's so irrelevant, it hurts. I'm sorry.
Oh, they're not at her. I just believe, Jerry, thank you so much for the super chat. Mia and G are the new Michael and Ashley. Do you agree with that?
I can see it. I feel like they're very honestly, going back to the very beginning when like he's talking, like pretending he's going to pull down his fly or whatever. It's like, this is just so like uncomfortable. And it is something that like a Michael would do and an Ashley would laugh at. The way that Mia laughed at it, they are kind of reminiscent of the first season of them. Yeah, I would say that too.
But I wouldn't laugh. I feel like the reason they laugh, like the reason Mia was laughing, is about the power dynamic between the two of them. And that's why I was asking last week about, what do you do? Like, this man used to pay you for your time, and now this is your husband. It's like a different power dynamic where one has a power and one doesn't. In my relationship, I wouldn't, if my husband is trying to, first of all, he would never, but if he's trying to like act like he's pulling down his fly, to show the world,
Yeah.
it's not funny to me.
No.
Yeah.
Candace had a good reaction to that. When they panned it on her, she was like, you better not. But, I have a question for you three. So how did it go from Chris's brown, what is decent, to all of a sudden it's doing what it needs to do? What changed?
I think he checked her. Because I remember when she said it's decent on the reunion, and he looked offended. First of all, I don't think it's brown. Let me start there.
Me neither.
I don't think it's
It might
brown.
be brown.
How can it be
It's not
brown?
pink. And she's like, wow, it's brown.
It's not brown.
I've seen a lot of penises in my life.
How can it be brown? If
It can.
If his skin is, I've seen a lot too. I don't want to get into it.
Oh,
I have not seen any, you guys.
Grace is virginal.
Yes. I don't even know what teabagging is.
I think we both were lost on that. But I just don't believe it's brown based on his skin color. I think Mia was right when she was like, no, it's pink. I think it's pink. And I forgot the question you even asked.
How did it go from decent to doing what it needs to do? I'm like, I think she's capping. Cap.
I don't know. I just remember.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like he checked. I feel like he checked her about that. And I just remember her saying like the type of birth control they use, like they use a barrier type of birth control. And it just seemed like she's not into it. Like he might have checked her, but she's really not into it with him.
No.
It's my opinion.
So the chat is going crazy about the brown penis. No, okay. That's an after dark conversation, and we're not going to get into that. It is way too early on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Like it's early on the East Coast. It's early on the East Coast. We can't talk about that. Princess Gabby said it can be brown. It can be brown. Ladies, so in regards to the reunion, I'm looking forward to the reunion. I don't know if it needs to be 3 parts. I definitely think it's going to be 3 parts, especially with Nicki Minaj making an appearance. Do you think that it'll be 3 parts? Are you looking forward to the reunion?
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward. And I feel like Nicki, I feel like they're going to stretch it out to 3 parts regardless, because that's what they do lately. Like I can't remember the last time I've seen a 2-part housewife reunion. So it's going to be 3 parts regardless. And I feel like Nicki is going to be like the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be 3 parts. I'm excited. I hope that Wendy keeps the energy that she's had so far and that she doesn't cower down. I really want to see Candace go in on the Green-Eyed Bandits for their comments to her mom, because I feel like they were worse than what Mia has said. And especially Gizelle when it comes to riding on the coattails and stuff. I really want to see all that kind of stuff play out.
Yeah, because Candace has not confronted her about that comment. And that was kind of like a big deal. And she said it more than once. Yeah.
And she said a lot of things on social media in regards to her cast not having her back. So the reunion is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to another reunion hosted by Andy Cohen. And I know people probably think I don't like Andy. It's not about that. It's really about making a great show. And I don't think he's able to go there, especially with a cast like The Real Housewives of Potomac. And this is part of the reason why I feel like the franchise is not doing so well. Be honest. Yeah, look at your faces.
This is crazy. I need to watch your video on this. Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch. What's going on?
Yeah, why do you say he's not able to go?
Lailah, you have a question?
Yeah, because it's two-part. Because you say he's not able to go there, and I did see him make comments that Nicki Minaj was able to go there. When you say go there, where? What do you mean by that?
Well, there's a lot of issues of when we talk about colorism. There are issues as Black women. I just don't feel like he's able to address. I just feel like he's sort of there and asking questions off of a cue card. And I don't think he's a terrible host. I just feel like it does need a revamp in regards to who's hosting these reunions. And I don't think they necessarily Nicki Minaj to do that. I would love to see someone that's up and coming, a fresh face, go there. I just don't think it needs to be Andy, to be honest.
I like that comment, Kempire, that you're saying about some of these topics. They are deep topics that I don't think that Andy, as a white Jewish man, would be able to, answer or ask or like get to the bottom of and stuff and like hold people's feet to the fire on, because he doesn't understand that. That is very interesting. I get it now. Okay.
I would like to see him try. I would like to see a white person try to address colorism, because I feel like it's something like, I feel like it's something that, it affects. Of course, it affects Black people, but I would like to see a white person acknowledge colorism, because I feel like it's akin to racism. Like colorism is akin to racism, and I do like to see white people acknowledge racism. So I would like to see him acknowledge colorism. I would like to see his understanding of it, even though it might not be the same as a Black person. I would like to see his interpretation of it. I would like.
And I'm not even saying it necessarily has to be someone Black, but it definitely has to be someone other than Andy Cohen. Because I feel like he's. Even if you watch last night's episode of Watch What Happens Live, Jason was pointing it out as well. He just seems over it. And that might be because the show is canceled. I don't know, allegedly. But I think that he is over it. After hosting this for such a long time, he has not really evolved out of Housewives. He's still doing the same thing. And this is not, look, Andy, I know you watch the videos too. Wink, wink. I think that as a producer, you have to know when you need to evolve and sometimes step aside. Look at Mona Scott. She stepped aside as well from hosting her own reunions for Love and Hip Hop. That might be because of all the criticism too, but it's helped, I think. No. If we could, before I let you ladies go, if we could think of anyone to host the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, do you have someone in mind besides yourselves?
Yeah, why not, Kempire?
You can do it. I can see you do something.
I did not pay these ladies. I'll pay you later. I'm just saying
that. My cash app.
And honestly, I'm not saying that because I want to host. I really would like to see them, because I love the show and I love the franchise. I really would like to see them revamp, at least when it comes to the reunion. Because yes, Andy might be asking the questions now for Beverly Hills, but he's been inconsistent for many reunions. That last Potomac reunion should have been epic. Part 1, part 2, and part 3. And it was epic only part 1. He failed us and he got a lot of criticism for it.
Maybe that's impacting him too. Maybe it gave him a little bit of anxiety for this season as well. I would like to see Bevy Smith, Rachel Lindsay, or Nina Parker. You know what I mean? Like someone like that.
I love Nina Parker. I love Nina Parker. Yeah. But at the
Nina
same
might be over
time,
these reunions though.
Yeah, I think she might be. And also, I don't know. I guess I just like to see, I don't know if I want to see, okay, if he hosts all the other reunions, but then for the Black reunion, someone Black comes in to host. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, for a revamp for all of them, really. Not just for Potomac. I think there needs to be a revamp for all of them.
Yeah, that's something I would have to think about.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we have always next week and the following week and following week, because we do have more episodes of the Real Housewives of Potomac to cover, including, I'm assuming it's going to be a 3-part reunion. There's no way they need 4 parts. Beverly Hills will be 4 parts, and I'm not sure if they need it either. But it will be interesting to see what Nicki Minaj does and asks during the reunion. We're hearing that she goes at it to all the ladies. And specifically, the rumor has been that she goes at it with Candace. We shall see. Ladies, is there anything that you're looking forward to in regards to next week's episode?
What is next week's episode?
Next week's episode, this is where we get to see Ashley and G and Mia really go at it.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm looking forward to is the Black Bill Gates and Karen. She's gonna jump out of that cake. I just like their dynamic a lot, so I want to see more of it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I want to see that.
And that invitation that blows up. I don't know what that invitation was.
Yes, like a dove or something. I don't know, but
I hope it wasn't a bird. I hope it wasn't a bird in there. Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's episode. This week's episode really felt like a transition to what's left. The season is about to be wrapped, but it's been a solid season so far. And we've had a lot of really great conversations. Next week, we will be on Grace Report's channel. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to all of their channels. My channel, of course, if you're not subscribed, because we know you lurk. We know you lurk. Subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of that. And be sure to follow my girls on their social media. Everything's available in the description of the video. Thank you to everyone that sent in the super chat. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. And shout out to my moderators for keeping this space an open and honest, safe place to have differing opinions. I appreciate you all being here. Ladies, thank you so much. Anything you want to promote before you go? Look, we got almost 900 people here. Anything to promote, ladies? You all have new videos, I'm sure.
I have something coming. I have a product coming out.
Ooh.
It's less than $40. I do. I have
Any
a digital
on it or no?
It's a digital planner, like a day planner. It's a digital planner that you can use on your tablet or your phone, but mostly on your tablet. That's coming out very, very soon. Definitely before the new year. So yeah, look forward to that. It's coming out soon. Yeah.
Exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Grace.
Yeah.
Me, I've got my merch, realitymerch.com, Real Housewives of Potomac, Beverly Hills, Atlanta, etc., etc. Their coats on all sorts of different merchandise.
Awesome.
I love the quotes. I love the quotes, by the way.
I didn't even know that this stuff was coming up, but late. Well, we knew about the merchandise, but I didn't know about what you ladies are working on. Guys, make sure you go to their channel after this live to go check out their new content. And of course, we will look forward to the new products that are coming out. Ladies, as always, this was fun. Again, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day. It's late here in the Netherlands, but I might go out. I need to get dinner. So that's what we're going to be doing. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. I will talk to you guys later. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and be good to yourself. Bye.